50 Cent. Fuck. Shit. Damn it. Too late now. To quote Amy Winehouse herself, what kind of fuckery is this? Do the fucking thing.
So basically, what I was thinking of was, oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this.
It's the Angry Grant Show, everybody. The angriest Grant Show. Hi, everyone. It's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. Welcome to Raised on Popcorn with Grant, everybody. And I'm fucking livid. How dare you? No, like, seriously. This goes beyond just reviewing a movie. This is ridiculous. Okay. Hi, everyone. It's me. Fuck this. Just fuck this movie. Go watch Amy. It's on HBO Max. Just watch that. Do we have to do this? Fine. So Back to Black is a film... Jesus Christ. What's with the interference? I don't know. No, whatever. Back to Black is purported to be... Stop. It's purported to be about Amy Winehouse. It's not. Not really. It's directed by Sam Taylor Johnson, who directed Nowhere Boy, which was alright, and has done nothing good ever since, including, among them, 50 Shades of Grey. So, we now have... So, what is with the screen skipping? Future NQ, how's it going, buddy? What do you think is the best music biopic? And your favorite performance in a music biopic? In terms of being biopic, walk the line in terms of best performance, Rami Malek and Bohemian Rhapsody. You know what I would say? Best performance and best movie, Walk the Line. And Joaquin Phoenix in Walk the Line. That was a great movie. I also want to throw my hat in that ring. Love and Mercy. Really underrated film about Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. It stars Paul Dano. Great film. You should check it out. Great movie. Does everything right that this fucking movie does wrong. So, Back to Black is directed, like I said, by Sam Taylor Johnson. I don't know what's wrong with the screen, guys. I'm sorry for the interference. It's being a naughty, naughty, naughty thing. It's gonna get a spanking after this. Okay, so it's a story about Amy Winehouse, but what it really is thank you, Drew. You're right. So anyway, what this movie is actually about is about how her toxic, awful boyfriend, Blake, and her toxic, society-climbing father were completely innocent. And Amy Winehouse was a bitch, according to this movie. Yeah. And miserable. And an alcoholic. And, yes, I know she had an alcohol problem. That's not the point. And she is everything but a person. She has talent, the movie tells us. She wanted to be a mom, the movie tells us. That's the only amount of depth we get. Fuck the plot. Look, okay, Back to Black is no less than the cinematic equivalent of digging up Amy Winehouse's corpse, holding it up for the paparazzi cameras, and going, look over here, look, dead Amy Winehouse, take pictures. This is one of the most mean-spirited, ugly, despicable, disgusting desecrations of an icon in cinematic form I've ever fucking seen. I hated Back to Black. I hated this movie. I hated it with a fury that is only reserved for the very worst films of any year. This movie made me sick. Legitimately made me sick. I actually wanted to leave 15 minutes in. However, as awful as this movie is, there is one beacon of shining light who sadly is underserved by this film. Yeah, there is one legitimately good aspect of this otherwise horrible, despicable movie. And that is a newcomer actress by the name of Marissa Abella, who plays Amy Winehouse. She's great. Her performances. The movie around her is awful. This is a movie that is about Amy Winehouse, who is a beautiful artist and talented and insanely, one of the most beautiful voices on the planet who has ever lived or will ever live. And she is reduced to being treated like a burden. These are the movie's thoughts, not mine. She is portrayed in this movie essentially as promiscuous, nothing more than a promiscuous alcoholic sad sack who never gets any kind of examination, any kind of psychological insight involved. It is showing her misery, holding it up to the cameras like a tabloid article. It's disgusting. It pissed me off. The worst part of it all was the ending. By the way, spoiler alert, I don't give a shit. So anyway, this movie is a piece of trash. It's ugly. I felt unclean watching this movie. I felt like I wanted, like the old Kermode line, I felt like I want to bathe in Clorox. This movie was ugly. And I'm sorry, I don't want to hear any of those arguments about, well, Grant, you liked Blonde. First and foremost, Blonde took an actual person's iconography, not the person themselves. It was a fictional story that never purported to be anything less than a fictional story with a real person's iconography in it, and it did explore psychological insight. Yes, it was a movie about misery, but it did it in a way that mattered. It made sense, and there was artistry behind it. This movie, there is no insight into who this character is. There was no insight into who Amy Winehouse as a person was, her mental health, her sense of humor, her sense of joy. It is all misery. And it's disgusting and it's despicable. And also portrays her as every other scene in this movie is people telling her that she's a piece of shit to them. Like, the whole movie is just, it's like shitting on her. The whole movie. There's barely any of her music is in this film. Barely any of it. It's trash, guys. This is like, even Lifetime would not stoop as low as making this movie. I don't know how some of the people involved in this movie who are really talented people, Leslie Manville, Eddie Marsan, Jack O'Connell, like, these are good actors who are in this movie, and I don't. And then you watch something like Amy, the documentary. It is absolutely disrespectful. It is absolutely, that is a perfect word for it, Drew. It is disrespectful to Amy Winehouse. This is the kind of movie that makes you feel. And then the thing is that true Amy Winehouse fans have seen Amy, the documentary Amy. That was a great portrait of Amy Winehouse because it was honest. It dealt with her issues head on. It gave psychological insight, and it wasn't afraid to portray the people who were toxic and contributed to her downfall as they are. Contributors to her fucking downfall. And this movie whitewashes them, turns them into saints, and basically simultaneously murders Amy Winehouse and desecrates Amy Winehouse. I hated this movie. This is it, none of that spark is there. None of it. I felt sick watching this movie. It made me angry. It was so. It's just awful. It's just, and the other thing too is, as a piece of filmmaking, it also doesn't work. There are scenes in this movie, even if you look at it past the outrage factor, it's also not good on a filmmaking basis. It's the kind of movie that literally goes from 0 to 1,000,000 within shots. Like, okay, there is one sequence where Amy Winehouse is doing a recording. I believe it was a recording, and then she seems to be like, oh, good spirits. And like the next shot is her skin and bones, buying booze, already probably drunk, talking to a little girl who's a fan of hers, slurring her words. And there's no gap between. There's a scene where there's a couple of scenes where she tells Blake, her boyfriend, that she doesn't do drugs. And then literally, without any scene showing her beginning her drug dependency, she starts smoking crack. Like, there's no actual. They don't fill those gaps in there. She also goes from literally starting to write, and then at the end of the movie, they jump from her winning the Grammy for Rehab to literally the day of her death, with no in between. It just jumps. And then we get to the ending. Exactly. This feels like the kind of movie that is made not only by people who never knew Amy Winehouse, but people who hated Amy Winehouse. It was detestable. And the thing is that at the end of the film, the ending of the movie is Amy Winehouse still recovering, seeming to be doing fine. And it's literally, this is the scene. She's in her house. She talks to her father, says, "Oh, wait, Dad, I love you," blows him a kiss. As she's walking past her gate to her house, I don't care, I'm spoiling this. This is how the movie ends. One of the many paparazzi who's like harassing her mentions, "Hey, you know, Blake met a new girl and had a baby," and she breaks down, walks into her house, goes into a room on the bottom floor, and begins singing "I Dry My Tears on My Own," whatever that song's called, to herself, and then walks upstairs forlornly, and then it cuts to a title card that says Amy Winehouse died shortly thereafter of alcohol poisoning. And then we cut to and you see like a little bird something, and she was buried next to her grandmother. And then it cuts to this ridiculously self-serving sequence in which it's Amy Winehouse in better times on stage performing that same song, roll credits. And I literally, my mouth hit the floor. I was like, they did everything but show her lying dead in her bed with a bottle in her hand. What a despicable piece of trash. Like, truly. I hated this movie. And I really hate the idea that they put the thing that makes it worse is they put that uplifting little performance there as a smokescreen. So that people who don't know the truth about the story, who are going in just as someone who maybe has listened to Amy Winehouse or just doesn't know anything about her and wants to see a movie about a musician, will think it's a good movie. They'll go out of it thinking like, oh, well, that was kind of uplifting, and ignore the fact that the previous 2 hours before those last 3 minutes was nothing but shitting on this person. I hate movies that do this. I hate this movie. It's despicable. I hated it. New worst film of 2024. For shame, Back to Black. Just 0 stars. I hated this movie. Fuck this movie. Alright. There we go. 0 stars. Middle finger of kindness. I don't want to hear anybody commenting like, oh, because there are people who are... This movie is doing a lot better with general audiences than it is with critics. And I am not one of those. I tend to split the difference between general audience and critics. I'm not on your side in this one. I'm on the side of the critics. Fuck this movie. This movie's a piece of trash. And this is coming from someone who, at heart, has always been and will always be an Amy Winehouse fan. I love Amy Winehouse. I care about it. I was genuinely sad when I heard that she died. I loved Amy Winehouse. This movie is insanely disrespectful. It treats Amy Winehouse like she's a burden, and I hated this movie. It's a desecration. Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie, and fuck anyone who thought it was a good idea to approach the movie this way. I think it's despicable. 0 stars. I hated this piece of shit. Anyway, trailer trash. Let's talk some trailer trash. The Crow, talked about it, looks good. It Ends With Us, talked about it, looks good. I'm gonna be real. I talked about this yesterday. It Ends With Us. I was paying a little closer attention to certain actors in the scene, and it looks to be like a romance about leaving an abusive lover. So I may have been mistaken yesterday. Kinds of Kindness, talked about it, looks good. Thelma, this looks delightful. June Squibb, I think it's one of Richard Roundtree's last films. Looks really cute. The Commandant's Shadow. This is a documentary that is a Fathom event, and yet they gave it the full trailer treatment. I have my ticket for it. I'm going on the 29th. It's about the actual people that inspired the Zone of Interest. So that it's a documentary. It looks really interesting. Wicked, talked about it, looks good. A Quiet Place Day One, talked about it, looks good. Dee Dee, this looks great. Now this looks really great. Looks like I like the 2000s nostalgia is kind of becoming a thing. And then The Bike Riders, talked about it, looks good. Was there shawarma? No, there was not. Nick Cave has a new song, though, and man, what a waste. You got Nick Cave there to write an original song for this piece of shit. I love you, Nick Cave. You didn't need to do this. Anyway. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, there's nothing during or after the credits. Fuck this movie. So anyway, that's it. We'll be back tomorrow for the Blue Angels. Sunday is Thelma the Unicorn, and I Saw the TV Glow. Monday is AMC Screen and Scene. Tuesday is Wildcat, and more to come. That'll all be next time. And until next time, I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy. I see it all, and I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I love you all, Class Dismissed. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Give it the bell. I don't know what it does. That's what you're supposed to do. Or so I've been told. Leave a comment, even if it's, hey, Grant, I like waffles. It really helps out. If you want to find me out, so reviews this and other fun stuff, you can find me on all my social media. I'm on literally everything at either Raised on Popcorn with Grant or Raised on Popcorn. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. It's incredibly important. And I want to know down below, what did you think of Back to Black? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Think my opinion's good? Think I'm full of shit? Comment below. Let me know. And until we meet again, and I'm going to go before this skips again. Yeah, comment below. Let me know. And until we meet again, we're all Raised on Popcorn. Make mine with extra butter. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care. See you around. Bye.